comedy podcast on iTunes called Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. We're excited to find out what's next. Well, what's next after getting old? So please welcome the talking half of the twosome, Jason Mewes. Come on out, Jason. You know, you don't have to deal with the pillow if you don't want to. Just flip it over the back. You can do whatever you want. We're super cash here. So how did Jay and Silent Bob get started?
It's Jay and Bob, the characters from the movies. Well, it started, you know what, Kevin and I have been friends for about 25 years, and he wrote and wanted to put me in there because he thought that was funny, and I was obnoxious just like in the movies. And he was wondering if other people would find my sense of humor and my obnoxious ways, but other people would find it entertaining like he did, and a couple other people we hung out with, our friend Walton Bry. But and he could put himself in there because he said that the way he wrote me and all the stuff that I do, usually I didn't interact with anyone when I really acted that way, but he thought on camera I needed someone to interact with. Yeah.
But you don't really interact with him because he's silent.
Exactly, and that he wanted to be on. He wanted to be in front of the camera, but also he's behind the camera. But he didn't have to focus on dialogue, so that's why he made him silent.
Being silent helps.
So he could direct, but also be on camera because he wanted to show his face and stuff. So he wrote the characters
and people love them. And I mean, is it kind of unbelievable that it caught on to such an extent that you guys have come to the point where you are now with this amazing podcast?
It is pretty unbelievable, especially after Clerks. If you see the DVD cover, the poster, like Kevin is on there, but as director, like he's not dressed as Silent Bob, and I'm not even on there because the studio even was like, oh, whatever about these characters. And then Kevin wrote us in Mallrats, and then I think Mallrats, when people started noticing and talking about the characters and stuff, and this, the dance here and stuff. But
you gotta love the dance. Now, I know what I think people love about this, but what do you think makes these characters resonate so much?
I don't know. People have told me over the years that I've heard like, oh, I have a friend like that, and my brother's like that, and I just think people can relate with the way the characters are just, they hang out and want to have fun, and they speak their mind and all this stuff. So I think, I feel like people have people that they're friends with or related to or something that are, similar.
I think you're totally right, because I look at you and I just think, I went to high school with that guy, and that's what most people think, and it's still, after all this time. So now, Jay and Silent Bob are getting old. That makes me sad. You're not getting old.
Well, older than there. That was
yes, that happened.
Clerks. Yeah, Clerks was almost 20 years ago, and we've been friends for almost 25 years. So the title of Jay and Bob Get Old is because the podcast is mainly just stories of when we first met and the first time we did a movie, and just different events that have happened, ups and downs. Like I've battled some stuff, and he has, and
what do you
so
mean
it's
stuff?
fun. Well, I've battled with drugs. I've had some addiction problems, and he's had some fighting with weight. He's gotten thrown off a plane because of his weight. Yeah, so stuff like that. It's a lot of what we talk about is that, but also a lot of the fun stuff and getting to work with some of the tons and tons of cool people we got to work with.
Chris Rock, Ben Affleck, so many great people. Do you have favorites?
I mean, I was very excited when we shot Mallrats to work with Stan Lee, because I'm a big comic book fan and a geek, and so that was really surreal to me to be able to work with Stan Lee. And there's a lot of people that I've been excited about. I just worked with Harvey Keitel.
He's amazing, isn't he? He's just
great.
Like a walking piece of charisma. Yeah. Not a big, tall guy, but he walks in the room and he fills the space.
Yeah, he was a lot of people. There's been a lot of people I've worked with that I'm very excited about and think they're just great. And
how are you doing, by the way? How are you doing in terms of battling with drugs, battling with some of life's struggles?
Things are good. As a matter of fact, tomorrow will be 2 years. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I had, and that's part of what we're talking about too, is I had almost 6 years, and then I got kidney stones, and they gave me painkillers, and they don't well, they sort of warn you, but for me, I had almost 6 years, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine taking pain medicine, I actually needed it for the pain, but then I got that feeling, and then next thing you know, it's like 15 months later, and I'm back to where I was. It felt pretty quick, and then I know it's almost 2 years in. So
I don't know if people know what a struggle is, you know, how hard it is.
yeah, 'cause it was as easy as, you know, it's not even like the hard drugs. It was even like actual pain medicine, which I needed. But again, if you don't, you know, you're not aware and treat it right and talk to people and stuff like that. For me, it was that was sort of the thing. I sort of was not telling anyone like, oh, I'm taking pain medicine for pain, and I felt good the last time I took it, and now I've been like counting down the minutes when I take my next one, but yeah, it's tough, and so it's alcohol and all that, and it's been in my family. My brother's a drug addict, and my mom passed away from drugs, from heroin, and my sister's addicted to painkillers, and it's been pretty.
Yeah, there is a hereditary element, and that
Yeah.
sounds very painful. I'm very glad you're healthy, though.
Thank you.
Because we'd like you to be around and continue to make us laugh. And you've got Comicon coming up. What is that like? You have I mean, these huge fans who come and just are so thrilled to meet you, and you get a chance to interact with them.
It's fun. I mean, the convention itself is awesome, just because for me, it's so overwhelming, because you walk, and they're getting, I started going to them in, say, '95, and they're just getting bigger and bigger, all the conventions, and seeing people, how much they get into dressing up, like into the different characters, and all the different, like now video games are getting integrated into the shows, and all the cool toys and comic books and movies and stuff. So I mean, I have a blast. Like, I just walk around and being overwhelmed by so much stuff, and I want to buy everything, and my wife gets upset about that.
Do you teach people to dance?
No.
I think you should have a dance class. I would come to that.
That's a good idea.
That's a free idea. There you go.
Together?
I don't have your talent, that's for sure. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great time while you're here. Jason and Kevin Smith will be recording their hilarious podcast, Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, live during Old City Comic-Con this Sunday, April 1st. That's at the Washington State Convention Center. Watch out, you'll get lost in there. Just follow the signs. And just as a heads up, the show is intended for mature audiences and is a separate ticketed event from Comic-Con, so please go to our website. We'll have all the details and the ticket info. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Coming up later, a one-stop anxiety-free answer
Jason Mewes. Hello, Jason Mewes. I am standing next to someone I have no idea his name, but how you doing? It's like it's shining really soon, so I'm going to.
Well, I was video. You're familiar with that red light, I know.
What's going on, man? When I see that red light pointing at me, I don't know what
really nice guy. Honestly, on hit tomorrow, I think he's supposed to be here again. He's a nice guy. Tomorrow, I think he's supposed to be here again. You should go to him. He's a nice guy. Nice guy.
Tom Savini, those were definitely the best.
Dave.